Back when network TV ruled the airwaves, the movie of the week was a big deal, and sometimes they went a little too far. From psychological shockers to satanic pets, sleazy thrillers to full-blown creature features, these horror gems slipped through the cracks and made you wonder how they ever made it to air in the first place. Today we're talking about horror movies that somehow made it onto TV. The Legend of Lizzie Borden aired on ABC in 1975 and stars Elizabeth Montgomery, best known as the lovable witch from Bewitched, playing one of the most infamous murder suspects in American history. The movie walks a delicate line. Technically, it's based on real events. Lizzie Borden was tried for the axe murders of her father and stepmother in 1892. So, this is history, kind of. But the movie takes some bold liberties. It flashes between courtroom drama and psychological breakdown, with eerie hallucinations, memory gaps, and one infamous sequence where Lizzie slowly disrobes before delivering the final blows.
Abby?
It's less a whodunit and more of a maybe she did it and kinda liked it. And the fact that it aired in prime time, with no disclaimers, just a cheery announcer intro and straight into patricide with the star of Bewitched, makes it one of the most chilling and weirdly classy TV movies of its kind. A made-for-TV movie with full creature suits, desert biker chases, and Emmy-winning monster makeup? 1972's Gargoyles was weirdly impressive for something that aired on CBS at 8 p.m. The plot is pure pulp. A father-daughter research team stumbles across a nest of ancient winged creatures in the desert. And from there, it's all slow-mo attacks, echoing roars, and philosophical monologues from the head gargoyle himself.
There are perhaps maybe a dozen of us. We mean no harm.
The creatures are dudes in foam suits, sure, but it feels like a Halloween special that got way out of hand, but in the best way. The fact that this much latex and fire made it onto primetime TV is honestly kind of a miracle. It's part creature feature, part fever dream, and totally unforgettable once you've seen it. Imagine The Omen, but instead of a creepy kid, it's a German shepherd possessed by Satan. That's the premise of Devil Dog, Hound of Hell, which aired on CBS in 1978. It features family favorite Richard Crenna battling his own household pet, who may or may not be the literal Antichrist. The dog is adopted after a backyard breeder holds a secret cult ceremony, and from there, the family starts acting strange. There's talk of demonic possession, hypnotic suggestion, and the dark forces are at work. In the final act, a full-on mystical showdown between Crenna and the dog, complete with glowing eyes and a flaming sword, sounds ridiculous. And it is. But Devil Dog built a quiet cult following over the years. As absurd as it gets, there's something about it that still feels a little terrifying. Airing on ABC in 1973, the eyebrow-raising Satan's School for Girls has everything you could want from a late-night TV oddity. Moody lighting, whispered threats, students who may or may not be in a cult, and a headmistress who's definitely hiding something. It centers around a young woman who enrolls at an elite girls' school to investigate her sister's mysterious death, only to uncover a possible satanic cult hiding in plain sight. Pamela Franklin plays Elizabeth, while Kate Jackson and Cheryl Ladd round out the cast, just a few years before their Charlie's Angels fame. There's no gore. The jolt is the premise. Teenagers manipulated by occult authority figures, broadcast to millions on a weeknight. It's ridiculous and over the top for network television, and exactly the kind of movie that made you think this was really on TV. 1985's Deadly Messages starts with a Ouija board and somehow ends with a full psychological breakdown and electroshock therapy in between. Kathleen Beller stars as Laura, a woman whose roommate is murdered right after using the board to contact a ghost named David. But when the police arrive, there's no body, no crime scene, and no one believes her. From there, it unravels fast. Strange attacks, shifting identities, and revelations that Laura may have escaped from a mental hospital and stolen someone else's life. Dennis Franz turns up as one of the skeptical cops, adding to the sense that no one around her is quite on her side. It's messy, melodramatic, and exactly the kind of movie that makes you want to ask, who approved this script, and what messages were they getting? The Bermuda Depths aired on ABC in 1978 and somehow managed to be a giant sea monster movie, a ghost romance, and a lost childhood trauma all at once. The story follows a marine biologist who returns to Bermuda and reconnects with a mysterious woman from his past, played by Connie Sellecca, who may or may not be a spirit tied to a centuries-old curse. There's also a massive, possibly demonic, sea turtle, and Carl Weathers. Produced by Rankin Bass, the same people behind Claymation Christmas specials, the film has an eerie, hazy tone that feels like a dream you can't quite shake. There are long underwater sequences, moody flashbacks, and dialogue that sounds like it's being whispered through a fog bank. It's not violent or explicit, but it feels deeply unsettling, like the kind of movie you watched once as a kid and then spent years wondering if you imagined it. And honestly, you might have been better off. Barbara Eden, best known for I Dream of Jeannie, stars as a woman who suddenly finds herself pregnant, despite her husband just having had a vasectomy in 1974's The Stranger Within. What starts as a domestic mystery slowly shifts into weird, otherworldly sci-fi territory as her behavior grows more erratic and inhuman. She craves salt, avoids light, and begins acting like someone, or something, else entirely. It's eerie, low-key, and oddly effective, like a quiet invasion story hiding inside a made-for-TV melodrama. By the end, it's not clear what just happened, but you'll definitely remember it. At first glance, it looks like a typical teen thriller. A high school girl starts receiving threatening notes, the phone keeps ringing, and no one around her seems to take it seriously. But Are You in the House Alone slowly reveals itself to be something much darker. Beneath the made-for-TV pacing and soft-focus lighting is a story about sexual assault, trauma, denial, and how the people you trust can sometimes be the ones to fear. It never gets explicit, this was still network TV, but the implications are heavy, especially for a movie airing on CBS in 1978. Starring Kathleen Beller in her second movie on this list, as well as a young Dennis Quaid in one of his earliest TV roles. It's not a great movie, but it lingers. Less for what it shows, and more for the subject matter, especially in the context of when and how it was broadcast.